Hey, I didn't see you there. It's me, Tyko here. Today, I'm gonna show you my favorite Moc of all 6 of them. And you already know the final one, that is Wiro. Sometimes I call it Wiro for a weird thing for a name. This is my favorite one of them all. This is Wiro. It actually from the novel from Indonesia. It has been a movie or TV series a long time ago. He is the best model of all of them. Wiro is actually a very decent, even though I did play a lot. Yes, it has a very loose joint on here because I played too much. In this video, I'm gonna divide this into 4 parts. The first one is the experience building this model. The second is about the appearances. For the next one is about the articulations. And finally is the conclusion of this model. Now, let's start with the first part. The first part of this model is the experience building this. So I did have an account in the Twitter or X. I did have the first one is looks like this. It look pretty odd and look pretty ugly. So my brother did say like, dude, this thing stinks. Can you rebuild him? Okay, I'll rebuild him like more better and less wonky. It does actually looks pretty fine to me if you look from this particular angle here. It looks great, but the hair looks weird. But from the top down, it does looks pretty good in person. In my experience building this before and rebuild it and upgrade it, just like the almond one, he actually the first one I used. So I did not mention about the almond which is this piece here because he's so fragile. I can't use him. So I also gonna mention it back for this guy too. The building technique of these are absolutely different than the rest of the female version one. This is the male version and it looks pretty great. The next part is about the proportion and the character looks amazing. It looks pretty damn good. The boots itself have some yellow piece. The gauntlet, the shoulder armors here, it looks pretty damn good in person. The hair is the most top difficult thing for me to replicating the sharpness and the float of it. Like this, it float here. And the front of the hair change down. And yes, I did use some of the microconstruct pieces a lot around this model to replicating the styles, and because Lego pieces doesn't have much variance of hinges or brick like these. I think it's total of 12 pieces that I did use it on the Lego and non-Lego competition. And this also used here. It does looks pretty great on the back. Yes, the premium is shiny. It looks great. It looks majestic. It looks fancy. It looks in proportion, I guess. But if speaking of same proportion in the game, it doesn't look the same. But it's a different. It's fantasy. The proportion of this looks absolutely cool. Personally, this is my top favorite characters of all in the game. So that is all for my opinion in the proportions. Now let's get next to the articulations. The articulations of this model. The head is using a lot of fragile piece here. I don't want to touch it because I dropped it multiple times. It's using the ball joint, and this time that ball joint have an extra hint. You might not notice, but a hint like this. It rocking left and right, and below it is a ball joint, so it can look left and right and spin it around but I can't spin it too much. The headband have a hinge. The head I'm using this type of hinge here. It actually able to move up like this and down like this. I have two different sides of the position of the hair. Both of them are using ball joint or mixer joint. Next is his arms. His arms is made out of mixer joint, but I also using the same techniques that old men also have. As you can see, the exposed one right there. So this hinge here actually for cover the gap. If I want to pose it like this, you can raise up like this or down like this. And since there's the ugly gap, I use this panel here to cover that ugly gap, just to make sure it's not that bad of a looking. Create a hinge. I did talk about the hinge. I use a T-joint here. It's a T-joint with double C-clip on each side. You're able to raise this up, combined with the socket, with ball joint socket. I'm able to create a 360-degree spin from his arms. You're able to rock back and forward whatever I want, like this, just to make sure it have more articulations than other else. It also have a swivel because it's also in one of the T-joint, able to swivel 360 degrees. This one is fascinating because I forgot to mention in Omen Moc. So why is special about this hinge of this elbow? Because first, when you use a double hinge here, but when it started to getting loose, this thing start to kicks in like this piece when it starts to loose. If it loose, you move it up like so, just to make sure it's not gonna lose. Well, some sort of that, but it's still there. It's pretty good. If you don't want it, you just put it down like this, and voila, a very good one. And since the hinge joint is a very weird way, I'm using the droid one from Star Wars to actually make a hinge and create this, just to make sure none gap, well, too much gap exposing. Oh, oops. So I'm using this type of technique just to not to allowing it expose too much gap. It looks a bit decent. It looks pretty great. And the gauntlet here have a hinge and hinge here to create the bend down. And this one have a ball joint, the hand able to move independently. Even the thumb itself, this one have a different design. The socket is down here, and the ball joint with the stick is up here. And then using this clip as a secondary support for the hand. And it did a very great job by doing some poses like so. And I also using the tires for the wrist, because if I remove it, it looks pretty ugly. So my solution is using this tire, a very small one, to cover the gap, so it looks much better in person. And the same thing goes here from his left arms, but a bit less armor. Now let's come to the torso. The torso is just a single brick. There's nothing here because I still based on the Picky Brothers style. I'm using the same joint, and since I don't know how to create a joint for the torso, I just gonna keep it like a brick. And I do not spend a lot of time making a male figure from this. It does take a lot of time for me to think. Hips have this skirt, side skirt, And this is also locked in for the leg. And if I move this up like so, the leg able to move up like this. And since there is an extension for the legs like here, I have to remove this piece and connect it here to make sure it actually have a better range of motion from the leg. But since I cannot do it, I'm too lazy, and it's absolutely like nighttime. It's literally nighttime, and I'm very sleepy about. So the hips actually using a very big socket and a very big ball joint. It's able to, you know, a very decent swivel. And speaking of the legs, it does have this hinge here. I'm still using the C-clip and a T-joint as well. And because I'm using the T-joint, I also able to swivel independent in each legs parts of it, and able to bend it too. And the armor from here, I able to move it down to make sure it's also able to move much more bent in like so. And the basic ones is still using the ball joint, mixer joint in the ankle. And that's it for the articulations. But before I'm getting to the conclusion, I also want to mentioning about the only one accessories, this X. So sometimes I actually call it the Death X, but people keep translating it actually is a fire-breathing dragon X. And I don't know which one is the official one. It's called Nagageni 212 X. I don't know what this translating into English or even Vietnamese. I still don't know what this is called, but I'm still gonna call it the Death X. That's it. This is the only thing that he have to hold on his hand. He also have each C-clips on each of his hand like so. You have to hold it very easily because it's just a very easily piece of accessory for him to hold. And if I don't want him to hold it, I'm able to put it here as a inventory. What is it called? Giving inventory? I don't know. So you can able to put the X from this fabric thing here, like a very weird thing scrabbling on his back. I don't know what English called. And that's it. Now let's get starting to the end of this video, the conclusion part. Very good. And that's it for my opinion and for my review of this Lego Moc. So I hope you enjoy. Some of you definitely don't. That please leave a like, subscribe, or comment in the videos if you like. So I hope you have a great day and a great life. See you in the next video. Bye.